bunny hops down the stairs. Children squeal with delight as they open their baskets filled with colorful eggs. Families gather for a delicious meal, and later the adults hunt for the Easter bunny so they can tell him that he left the chocolate in the wrong place again. Yep, Easter is here, and we've got some trivia for you. Did you know that Easter has roots in paganism? In pre-Christian Europe, the spring equinox was a major holiday celebrated by Germanic pagans. They had festivals like Ostara and the Eostra, which honored the goddess of dawn. These celebrations included bonfires, animal sacrifice, and fertility rituals. The word Easter may have even come from an Old English word meaning to rise, and that's because the rising sun was a key symbol during the spring equinox. As the days got longer and warmer, people saw it as a sign of renewal and rebirth. So they celebrated with feasts and festivities. But then Christianity showed up and tried to change everything. In the 12th century, the Catholic Church moved the celebration of Jesus' resurrection from an obscure date in March to the first Sunday after the spring equinox. This way, more pagans would be drawn to Christianity because they could keep celebrating the things they loved about spring, just with a Christian twist. The church also replaced the old gods with a new one, Jesus Christ, the risen Lord. So who was this Jesus guy? According to the Bible, he was a Jewish preacher and miracle worker who was crucified by the Romans but then rose from the dead 3 days later. Christians believe that this shows that death isn't the end and that anyone who believes in Jesus can have eternal life. For early Christians, celebrating the resurrection was a big deal because it gave them hope for the future. It meant that death wasn't the end, and that's pretty comforting. Now let's talk about the Easter Bunny. This furry little guy wasn't always delivering eggs and candy to kids. In fact, he didn't even exist until the 17th century. The Easter Bunny was based on the pagan god Eostre, or Oster, who was associated with fertility and spring. The bunny part came from fertility statues that were made in the shape of rabbits or hares because they were symbols of fertility and new life. These statues were often placed in gardens or near farm animals to help them breed. So basically, the Easter Bunny was a fertility statue that came to life. Over time, people started leaving out treats for the Easter Bunny, just like they used to leave out treats for Santa Claus. And then the children started hunting for these treats, and that's how we got the Easter egg hunt. But what about all the other stuff we do for Easter? Well, it's not quite clear how all those traditions started. Some people say that decorating eggs comes from a pagan tradition of decorating tree branches and farm animals. Other people say that it comes from a Christian tradition of giving eggs as gifts during the Lenten season. And then there's the food. Many families eat special foods at Easter, such as ham, lamb, or a traditional Polish dish called babka. Again, it's not quite clear how all these foods became associated with Easter, but it probably has something to do with spring or new life. Spring is a time when animals give birth and plants grow new leaves. It's a time of renewal and rebirth, and maybe that's why we eat special foods at Easter. So there you have it, a brief history of Easter. From its pagan roots to its Christian traditions, Easter is a holiday that celebrates renewal and rebirth. So we hope you have a wonderful Easter filled with joy, laughter, and maybe a few jelly beans. Thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, if you love the content I create and want to keep up with the latest videos, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Your subscription not only supports me, but it also ensures you never miss out on exciting new content. Click the notification bell to stay updated and be part of a growing community. Thank you for being so supportive.